Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. Now, I love the celebrations that each week brings, the twin celebrations of Israel on its 75th anniversary. Long may she be the lone bastion on the hill of adversity, a lighthouse for the Jewish people to see world over, to reach for, to cling to in a world of ever-growing anti-Semitism, a world that simply seems to have gone wrong. My blood's so mad, feels like coagulating. I'm sitting here, just contemplating. You can twist the truth, it knows no regulation, and a handful of senators don't pass legislation. Marches alone can't bring integration when human respect is disintegrating. The whole crazy world is just too frustrating. But you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, that you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. You know, if we ever not been on the eve of destruction, when are we going to rise above the divisiveness of the world and recognize we are the same? We are parts of a whole. And as I'm reading my Torah preparation for this week, I was thinking about a couple whose parsha this was for their wedding. It's hard to believe this week was Noah and Hallie's 10th anniversary. I remember their wedding like it was yesterday. They were 2, now they are 4, sharing the loves and laughs, the joys and celebration that comes with family. It's also dear Brett's birthday this week, a shining example of pulchritude and joy, and I hope she has a fantastic one. Each celebration that we have, each celebration of each spark of love simply reflects another relationship in our lives. Our lives are reflections of the relationships we have. So if you feel you haven't celebrated the relationships of your life, do so now. And I know some people who never celebrate the relationships in their lives. They don't realize the relationships exist. It's never too late. Just as it is never too late to reach out to those who are part of soul and spirit of our existence, because we are connected. Now, we're better together than apart, exchanging and sharing the energy of creation, just like when we come together weekly, monthly, yearly, as we gather in the collective consciousness of seekers showing faith. Any and all faith, love, any and all love. True chavura, which is a Hebrew word for fellowship, showing faith. All faith, love, any and all love. A true gathering of people as we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community, house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing, bringing light, keeping fear at bay. And even though together we are still individual in our approach, each connecting in his or her, their own way. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody in. Some physically, the rest digitally, psychically, emotionally, or spiritually, to gather and share. From Psalm 133, the Hinei Matov come together. Hinei Matov, Hinei Matov. How good and pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community, 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 together. Friends, let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, this is you setting aside just a little bit of sacred time in your sacred space. To honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in. We all believe in something. It's a part of your kavanah, your intention that you put out to the universe. It is your goodwill. And goodwill and intention are the roots of what you control, of what you correct. You put it out, your intention sets in motion everything that occurs in your lives. Let's take some time now. Let's use that intention. Let's send some of that goodwill, some light, some healing out to whoever you know that needs it. Healing and renewal is for everyone. It just floats through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know, for the souls and spirits of everybody you love. Think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people, it's for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the world. The tikkun olam. It's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. We have to help heal the world. We must each do what we can to improve and change our own little corner of the world. As we change ourselves, we change the conditions of life. Now, part of the healing of the world is when we send thoughts and energy for health and renewal and goodwill for everybody. They don't have to be sick. It's for those in our hearts and our minds. Let's all send energy out for the people in need everywhere. Special thoughts and prayers always for those who are sick. We pray for those who need prayer because prayer is an effective method of communicating with God, of entreating, of helping ourselves and others. We don't have to know them. We want health, recovery, goodwill for everybody around us. For Linda, Ginny, for Giuseppe and Ryan and Barry and Terry, for Jenna, Lisa, for Jamie and Cheryl, for Gloria, for Dory and Snoopy, Fern and Johnny, Ronnie, Connie, for Nina, Danny, for all those suffering and in need. Let's not forget to include the familiars of our lives, all of our sacred animal friends everywhere, for everyone, everyone in need, for the whole world, for Rosemary. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing wishes and goodwill. It is the love we all send out. She circles the world finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care. Because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. It just goes on and on. Me. May the source of strength bless the one who's good for us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Misha Baruch, let us all have our spirits renewed, because this is the great prayer for healing. To call upon God to heal as He is before. Misha Baruch, may He who blessed. Because all healing's a blessing. So let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Now, one of the wonderful and unfortunately rare occurrences in life seems to be people freely speaking their mind, especially when talking about others. We should be honest. We're all parts of good, bad, with our moments of happy, sad, but we can be true. We can be factual. But we're not especially around the times of death. And we see that this week as we read acharei, kedushim, after the death, and holy. But taken together, that's something that we do. After people die, we make them holy. We speak of them as if they were saints. We didn't treat them that way when they were alive. So either we disrespected them then, or we pretend now. Now, this is a perfect example of why Parsha titles can be so misleading. The titles were hundreds of years after the Bible was written, and it's just one of those things. But in this case, it is a reminder to be honorable in our approach to others and to be true to them and ourselves while they're alive and when they're gone. See, we honor the dead with prayers. Our prayers, like the Kaddish, are glorifications and sanctifications of God and of the soul of the deceased. You can still honor them always. Take the time to light a candle, say a prayer for your family, for your loved ones, for any you know who have died. They will all just be as elevated with prayerful intent coming from you as coming from a group. You don't have to wait for the 4 public mourning days. Light the candles, elevate the souls, honor those you love, those you miss. You know, and I saw a great example of that with my friend Pam and her group when somebody died, and they were all on Facebook talking about how wonderful this person was and sharing stories, and all of them, you know, in their own ways, lighting their candles and sending out, elevation for spirit. Now, this parsha this week starts simply enough, but it's not about what the title suggests. The title's very misleading. Leviticus 16:1, and the Lord spoke to Moses after the death of Aaron's 2 sons. when they came forward in front of the Lord and died. Now, the topic of this week is actually the holidays, especially the Day of Atonement, the holiday that supplanted freedom as the most important, and a statement by God that so often is forgotten. We are all holy. And we're actually given a quick chance to see ourselves, to pre-examine ourselves before the Day of Atonement comes. And I'm sure you're all going to discover things about yourselves, your families, your relationships. You may find what the Talmud talks of, that the surest path to a peaceful home and soul is through kindness. And almost a greater lesson is learning that the second most important characteristic needed to achieve peace in your life, indeed to benefit any personal relationship, is to become proficient in the art of listening, and therefore the art of silence. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. It's why we have meditation. It's why we practice mindfulness. The Talmud, the Psalms, they encourage silence. We have to watch our words. Words and speech hurt. We spend much of the Day of Atonement trying to make up for what we said when we didn't hit the pause button and take the time to think before speaking. We see that this week. But being in the handbook of the priests, first, these two parshas have to give us a lot more rules and regulations. As again, they weren't for the people. This was for the priesthood. Now, I spoke with a great teacher. We talked about how often, one of the punishments that Leviticus throws out is that you can be cut off. It's a term that's often encountered, especially throughout this book. And we talked about, how this book also makes a lot of references to being blind and deaf. And we talked about how Jesus healing the blind, raising the dead, and how many took that as overstepping boundaries. But we can look past the basic meanings and see what the Torah talks about. What we do so often and what we're so guilty of, and we have not seen and our eyes then get open, we have not listened, then we get to hear and we have that Archimedes aha moment, and we understand, we see, we hear that which we closed ourselves to. That for which we had the do not disturb sign posted. And to the ancient cult member, the threat to be cut off was basically to be considered dead. For those are the people who need to be restored, to return, to reintegrate, to bring back to life those members, to make them part of the community again. That's what we're going to keep encountering as we keep seeing about being cut off. We're warned about putting obstacles. And we're warned especially about putting obstacles in the way of the blind. And it happens on more than one occasion. Those obstacles can be as simple as the words or the lies that we weave. There's a lot of reference that you're going to read throughout, Leviticus about, not putting obstacles in the way of the blind. Just like the blind man, I wandered along. Worries and fears I claimed for my own. Then like the blind man, that God gave back his sight. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light. I saw the light. No more darkness. No more night. Now I'm so happy. No sorrow inside. Praise the Lord. I saw the light. There is a lot of blindness, deafness, fear-mongering that's going around these days. Now, there is an irony in the world these days because we've just had the holiday dedicated to overcoming fear. But fear still rules the world. And it carries these other problems with it. The blindness, the deafness. Only you know what you should be afraid of. No one else knows for you. No one else is you. Fear is individual. For everyone who tells you to fear, there's always going to be someone to tell you not to. But friends, look within. You have to trust yourself. You have to learn to trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust yourself to know the way that will prove in the end. Trust yourself. Trust yourself to find the path where there is no if and when. Don't trust me to show you truth. But the truth may only be dust. If you want somebody you can trust yourself. Then you're on your own. You always run in a land of wolves and thieves. Don't put your hope in a godly man or be a slave to what somebody else believes. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Look within, my friends. And that's about, what we have to do about not putting obstacles in the way of the blind. It's not real obstacles. Can be. But it's about the lies we weave. It's about not trusting. It's this week we are told how holy we are. How special we are. We're given an unusual instruction in Leviticus 19. There's a shift that takes place in the Bible around Leviticus 19 because you were told to love yourself in a special way because you're told to love your neighbor as yourself, which means we're now reflecting because if you really did, you couldn't hate, you couldn't fear, you couldn't loathe, you would love. Because we would recognize the other as us, but we don't. Leviticus 19:1. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to all the community of Israelites. You shall say to them, you shall be holy. For I, the Lord your God, am holy. Every man shall revere his mother and his father. My Sabbaths you shall keep. Again, there's that holiday. There's that one commandment that God emphasizes again and again and again, the Sabbaths. Now, what makes us holy? When you read this, you see it is decency. You shall not defraud your fellow man, you shall not rob. You shall not keep the hired man's wages with you through the night till morning. You shall not vilify the deaf. Before the blind you shall not put a stumbling block. You shall fear your God. I am the Lord, you shall do no iniquity and injustice. You shall not favor the wretched, you shall not defer to the rich. In righteousness you shall judge your fellow. You shall not go about slandering your kin. You shall not stand over the blood of your fellow man. I am the Lord. You shall not hate your brother in your heart. You shall surely prove your fellow, not bear guilt because of him. You shall not take vengeance. You shall not harbor a grudge against the members of your people. And you shall love your fellow man as yourself. A simple little paragraph. If we did that, we'd all be better off. See, the laws are never presented as a burden, but they're always there as a blessing, as a path to life. If you do nothing other than love your fellow man as yourself, you've done it all. As long as you love yourself. Yes, my friends, the world is sacred. So is everything in it, especially light. Light a candle. Be grateful. Make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light. Continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone and end to terror and hatred. We are a community. We learn together. We celebrate each other. We love each other because we love us. We share the ride together, men and women equally, so let's all send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive, learn to love, including yourself. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. And enjoy this journey because we take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our efforts to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now, bless you all. Have a fantastic week. A week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe. And have a great birthday, Brett. Because we set in motion all that happens in our lives. It's our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect. Everything's linked. You have the time to forgive and be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad. So acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, to any person you've wronged. But ask forgiveness. Do so with sincerity, accountability, vulnerability. Forgive those who hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate. Because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance and in silence. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? Because if you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. It is your own. Keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear, follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith, just as I have faith in the principle of love in all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year. May you nurture kindness and love everywhere. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart. Quiet your mind. Because the deepest source of real power lies in consciousness, in your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Let's make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform lives around you because you're never alone. You're forever blessed, whether you know it or not. And you have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet. Energy, can't be destroyed. We're all energy. It can only be transformed. Your words are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous with them. You bless others, therefore you bless yourself. And love with the heart, because we are all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger. And be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. Continue to explore faith and belief. Never accept shame as a natural state, because whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together. We learn together. We help each other, because we are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have a special someone in our lives, so find them and tell them what they mean. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive, and keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. Listen to the voice of God. He, she, it talks to you. Think before you speak, because your words can empower and free you. They say every man needs protection. They say every man must fall. Yet I swear I see my reflection somewhere so high above this world. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. Put your faith in God. You shall be released. Well, thank you for joining me, my friend. Celebrate freedom and love. Light a candle. Elevate the souls of those who are gone. Elevate your own. Let the world know you walk in faith. Trust in yourself. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care. I'll see you again next week.